Hey, what is up? It is Akeyles, and today I feel like talking about Hellblade. Hellblade is a new AA or independent AAA game, whatever you want to call it, that is about a Celtic girl named Senua who has psychosis, or what she believes is a curse. Since they believe she's cursed, her father tries to keep her inside and he doesn't treat her very well. But while Senua is out, she meets a guy named Dylan. And while with Dylan, she's talking, he treats her different from anyone else, like she's a normal person. He even decides to train her and help her become a warrior. She goes behind her father's back and takes a test to become a warrior. I forgot the exact name for it, but it's like trials or something like that. After becoming a warrior, a plague comes around the village and kills a lot of people. Her father and the rest of the villagers blame her and disband her. So one day she decides to return to the village, and when she comes back, there's nothing but blood. The Vikings have come and they've slain everyone in the village. She looks up and she sees Dylan hung up and sacrificed for the Vikings gods. It is at that moment that her psychosis kicks into overdrive. So she decides that she needs to find his soul so she can put his soul to rest. And that's where the game begins. I don't want to give any more detail than what I've already given. So let me go ahead and just talk about the story's gameplay. Now, everything that is in the game that is not combat is just different symptoms of psychosis. Making things that connect that, normally doesn't connect. That's also a symptom of psychosis, as well as the blurred vision, the delusions, everything. And this was thanks to all of the professionals that they had come in and, help out with the game, tell them just different ways they can introduce psychosis or all the different symptoms. You can really tell that this game was a passion project, and it was the game that this guy really wanted to make. It wasn't a crash grab, it wasn't a Michael Bay film. It was one of those definitely heartfelt games. And then the combat is a very fluid, but it wasn't the best combat. Now, and I want to say that you didn't fight a whole lot, but when you did fight, you felt satisfied with the amount of fight or how long the fights took. And to be honest, the fighting was a lot easier, even though I did play on normal, not the hardest difficulty, but that's just how I play my games on normal. Now, everything about this game is well researched. Not only do you learn so much about psychosis, but you also learn about Norse mythology and even a little Celtic. Now, the game is a really good game, and I definitely think you should pick it up. But the game does have a few hiccups, being that it is a AA game. So there are a lot of glitches and bugs that you may come across. Like I've seen somebody climb to heaven. I've seen people fall through the map, and I myself have seen through walls sometimes, just depending on how the camera hits the angle. But for being a small team, a small development team, I can understand that, and I can definitely overlook it because of how the game plays and how it feels when you play it. The gameplay gets you fully immersed into the game, and the story does too. Like everyone has said, you need headphones and at least 3 hours of just straight playing, because the immersion of the game is so real and no joke. And almost all the parts that deal with darkness are when you're in the dark and you're running away from an enemy that you can't fight. Get your heart fully pumping, and it makes it freaking intense, especially with the voices talking to you, on top of running from something that you can't fight, you can't even look at. It almost feels like a horror game for a second. So basically, in conclusion, the game is great. It's a definitely buy, in my opinion. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and ask everybody to like, subscribe, all that, and then I'm gonna do a spoiler warning right now. So this is a spoiler warning. Also, I forgot to mention there's tons of walking in this game, like a lot, and there's parts that like you beat the boss and you have to walk all the way back through where you did all your puzzles and all the way back to the same door that you came through.
I could see, I'm going blind. I could see, I'm going blind. I could see.
Okay, so if you're here, then you've already played the game and you wanna hear me talk about the very end. Um, I just wanted to go ahead and say my perception of what the end was. And also I wanted to talk about how I really hate when you're supposed to lose and you don't know, because I spent a good 15, 16 minutes of just fighting until I gave up and I gave in and listened to the voice. Now, the way I perceived it is that you giving up at towards the end is you actually giving in into the darkness and actually understanding that that darkness itself is you. So when she stabbed herself, she killed the old her, which believed that the darkness was the reason why she was doing everything bad that happened to her, and those were the reason why her father treated her the way that she was, and it was a more of acceptance that that's just who her father was, and she understood that nothing she could do could help Dylan out because he's dead. But I think that's just my opinion on the thingy, and I'm still not sure if all of this, like, if any of this was in the outside world at all, or was this all just in her head. A small part of me thinks she's still right in front of Dylan's whole body where she discovered him. But you guys let me know all your theories and everything else that you guys believe. You know, let me know if you're absolutely wrong. Da, 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 da. Also, drop a like, subscribe, all of that. This is just, I guess, a review. And so I'm out.
I could see, I'm going blind. I could see, I'm going blind. I could see.